Hi there, I'm Taylor Patterson. Welcome to my TED Talk. No, I'm just kidding. But this assignment, This Is Me, did kind of have me laughing a little bit. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Zoolander with Ben Stiller, but who am I? But I'm Taylor Patterson. I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Grew up actually in Jasper, a little more south, a little more country, a little more redneck, until I was around 12 years old. So if you don't know already, the South, especially in that area, can have a very different set of values. God, your mother, don't cuss around your mother, and really kind of family oriented and God oriented, kind of the Bible Belt. Then I moved out to Colorado when I was around 12 years old and lived out there to present and go to school here. So I'll be talking a little bit about my self-concept and my self-esteem and kind of where I draw those concepts and those positive and negative feelings within myself. When I was 12, about a year after I moved out to Colorado, my father did leave. So we didn't, he wasn't always very present, and it made for a bit of a difficult upbringing. And just before that, until I was around 10, I guess, about 10, it kind of phased out for a little bit of middle school. I was bullied really bad. I was unlucky growing up, and I was quote unquote husky. So part of self-concept, how it's derived, is through reflected appraisal, and up until I was around 10, it was always just, oh, Taylor, you don't fit in here. You're not an athlete. You're not skinny. You're not attractive. You got a weird haircut. My mom cut my hair. I was a cute kid. I'll give her that. But or you're fat. The fat kid. I got picked on, and that just wore, and it kind of hurt, and it really hurt my self-esteem. Right. I was seen as like a nobody, and that was terrible. Because confidence is everything. Then it got a little bit better. But then my father left again, and I was kind of going down the list of who gives me good self-esteem and negative self-esteem based on their reflected appraisals. All my friends think I'm a pretty fun guy. I'd like to think I'm a pretty fun guy. I'm not friendless. Actually on the Enneagram test, there's like 9 different personality types you can be. I identified a lot with number 2, the helper. So I kind of try to be there for people. But I was going through, my mother said, oh man, you're awesome. She always kind of reinforced those positive beliefs. Sister, well, she thinks I'm a pretty good big brother, as far as I can tell. I kind of made that joke in class. Well, my dog loves it when I give him peanut butter. I know he doesn't really count. But then I got to my father, and I just got the word worthless, That's just something you got to work through. It's terrible, because why do you let those negative things, those negative appraisals of someone else really affect your life, right? And that's kind of an issue I've been wrestling with the past couple of years, and kind of getting down to it, because I'm not worthless. Nobody is, and kind of trying to derive those self-concepts and self-esteem from Christ and from more positive places by putting myself in more voluntary cultural groups, such as I'm on a flag football team. I started a Bible study. I played lacrosse in high school. I wanted to play in college, but I've just been really busy. I actually even started a business. That actually kind of fades us in to my communication skills and my responsibility skills. I learned a lot of communication growing up when my parents got divorced. That you got to look at the glass half full instead of half empty. I always try to. To a degree, you can make the concept for the glass is always full, half full air, half full of water. But so anyways, very responsible, because growing up, I had to take care of my little sister when my mother was at work, right? Making dinners, right now, kind of making sure everything was happening right. And then I had to communicate, back and forth. Well, communicate this to my mother and to my father, and then communicate from my mother to my father, back and forth. It's just all over the place. If a child is divorced, things can get, you have to grow up kind of quick to a degree, kind of quick. And that kind of took me into high school when I started my first business in a program called DECA. And I actually was one of the best in the world out of like 1 million people, which is kind of cool. Then I started a real business, construction business, that's actually still running out in Colorado. Estimated worth of, they ballparked it around $500,000, which is really living by God's grace, went from cut grass to something kind of cool. But with that, I have to have a lot of communication every day. Personally, I'm a pretty low contact speaker. I'll tell you in my mind, I'm an open book. All my friends know that. But I have to understand high context just as much, especially in sales and with working with anybody. Because if I can understand how a person's love language is, or communication is, or whatever their body language is, if I can understand that and then relate it to serving them better, that's optimal. I had a coach in high school, Coach Rago. He was kind of like a father figure, like a second dad. He stepped in. He said, "Look, Taylor, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. two ears and one mouth for a reason. So a big thing for me is first decoding what someone else tells me when communicating. First decoding and then properly encoding a message back to them. That kind of gives the best result at the end of the day. Fills everybody's glasses up. Social fun. I love to hang out with my friends. I get a lot of social. One of my biggest issues is social comparison. I compare myself all the time, and as a Christian, that's not always great. I can get in kind of like putting idols up there. But I have a lot of fun with my friends. Love to play flag football. Love to play sports. Love to go skiing. I'm actually a professional skier in Colorado. Took about a year off and skied in Keystone. So love skiing. I voluntarily hang out with that group a lot. Outdoorsy people, skiing people, adventure seekers. Another thing on the Enneagram test. But so that's kind of cultural groups I would identify with just voluntarily. Involuntarily, however, luck of the dice, I'm Irish as all get out. And when it comes to the sunshine, man, I don't tan, I lobster. The last thing I just kind of wanted to talk about was my indulgence and restraint. As a Christian, as a man, we always have, our issues of what do we want to indulge in and restrain ourselves from. And I've been trying to put God at the center of my life every day to restrain from bad and indulge in the good. Love, and hate on the bad end. And at the end of the day, God is at the center of my self-concept with all those reflected appraisals. And He helps me filter out, I think, the good and the bad. And that's where I'm at today, and I'm growing every day. Love this class. Thank you. Where am I at here?